Everyone, well, thank you very much for joining me today. I am going to talk to you about Start Peninsula. This is the start of really the second half of the year. We break things up in two halves, and and this is the start of the second half. Start Peninsula, first and foremost, is a place to validate your business idea. So you don't necessarily need to have customers. You don't need to have revenue that is generated. This is a place that we want you to present your business idea. So before you quit your job or before you max out your credit cards and take out a second mortgage on your loan or whatever or take out a second mortgage on your home, we don't want you to do any of that. We want you to validate your idea, make sure that you have a better understanding that this is worth pursuing before you make any decisions like that. So that is what we're talking about in terms of validation. The second part is really would like to thank the Peninsula localities for sponsoring this event. We've been doing this for 12 years now. So this year, the city of Newport News is our host locality. And the city of Newport News, city of Hampton, Poquoson, York County, James City County, city of Williamsburg, they all contribute funding to put this program on. So if it wasn't for their appreciation for entrepreneurship and early stage companies, none of this would be possible. So we really, really thank them for their generosity and their support. That said, let's jump right on in. And so what is Start Peninsula? I indicated a little bit just a few minutes ago, but again, it is a platform to validate your business idea. We want to make sure that one, you understand that you don't have to have tons of customers. You don't have to have any customers. You don't have to have generated all kinds of revenue. This is a place for early stage ideas where you can come just to see, hey, is this something that I should pursue? And we are based on what we're going to talk about here in a few minutes. You'll see that we keep that playing field very level in terms of who is allowed to participate and who is not, but this is a place to validate that business idea. So who can participate? Hampton Roads business or within the 757 region when the business opens. So Norfolk companies, Virginia Beach companies, Portsmouth companies, you all are allowed to participate. The reason it is called Star Peninsula is because the peninsula localities, they are the ones that contribute the funding to participate in this event. So you have to be within the 757 region, anyone with a business idea or an early stage business. So what I mean by that is we're not looking for companies that have been in existence for multiple years, 5 years, whatever the case is, that are thinking about starting a new idea. So it has to be an early business idea, an early stage business. No prior accelerator companies, or if you've received capital from someplace, that will preclude you from being able to participate. And why is that? If you've already raised $500,000 in funding, if you have already gone through a business accelerator, which is a program to help you become more attractive or eligible to receive VC funding, venture capital funding, if you've done what it takes to get into an accelerator, you've already validated your business idea. So this is where we want to keep that playing field level. So this is, if you've gone through an accelerator before, then this would be a step backwards. We want you to focus on continuing to move forward. And we're looking for scalable businesses. And what I mean by scalable is, do you have the potential to grow in terms of revenue and in terms of the number of employees that operate within your business? So we're not necessarily looking for a hobby. We're not necessarily looking for someone that will always be a one person type of business. If you're looking to be like I don't know, a psychiatrist or a masseuse or something like that. This is probably not the platform for you, because the judges, and in terms of what their rubric is and what they're going to be judging you on, is part of that. Does that business have the potential to grow in revenue or in the number of employees? So that's what we're looking for in terms of who can participate. We're really, really proud of the successes that we have had along the way. Like I said, we are in year 12 with Star Peninsula, and we've had a Shark Tank deal with three Shark Tank judges. Mark Cuban, Lori Grenier, and there was a guest judge that I can't recall his name right now, but that was with Safety Nailer. You can probably catch that on YouTube, and watch the replay on that. But they validated their idea on Star Peninsula. We've had 12 companies go on to go and join accelerator programs. So they've graduated from those accelerators. We also are the second largest hard apple cidery in Virginia. Started at Star Peninsula. That was our very first Star Peninsula back in the day, Busky Cider. So if you recognize a tap handle at your local restaurant or within any of the grocery stores, Busky Cider is that's where they started. And so just a real quick aside on that, they didn't know anything about apple cider. They just knew that they're like, hey, we've read that this is going to be a growing industry. We're just going to pitch this idea to start Busky Cider, and they did a good enough job where they won the very first competition, and now they are second to Bold Rock in terms of the size of the business. So really, really proud of them. We've had a White House appearance back for an entrepreneurial event. So we continue. Star Peninsula is really what has become the on-ramp for any business within the Hampton Roads area. That this is where you get that initial validation, you get that initial exposure, and from there we want to make sure that you know where to go next, and people know who you are, so that you can keep on moving forward. And with all of the activity, and as part of you being you're part of the ecosystem, we have surpassed $34 million in capital raised from companies that have gone on to participate within Star Peninsula. So again, we've had a long line of history in terms of the successes that we have had. We're really, really proud of that. And we hope that when you all participate, that you can add to those totals as you continue to succeed. And let's see, next, what is the process to participate in Star Peninsula? You do have to apply to pitch. So you'll see in the footer of all of these slides, starpeninsula.com is the website. You apply to pitch. It's a very, very quick application. Just who you are, what's your contact information, the name of your business, what problem you're solving, a brief description of your business. That will be set to us as soon as you hit submit. We will approve, assuming that we'll approve that application. The reason that we approve that is that we want to make sure that everything is above board in terms of the companies. There's nothing illegal. There's nothing that's questionable. Again, this is the funding, the prize winnings that the winners get comes from the localities here in Hampton Roads. So we want to make sure that that money is spent on businesses that we can be proud of. And on the flip side, it has to pass the headline test. We wouldn't want a headline to come about saying that the Peninsula localities supported this particular type of business or that. So I did see, let me check. Yes, Williamsburg, and Toronto, they do meet that criteria. So you are able to participate. Once your pitch application is approved, we will send you a link and a password to quote unquote purchase your pitch ticket. And the reason that we say purchase is because this is not, it's not a pay to play type of operation. This is not, we're not looking to make money on the pitch tickets. We just want to make sure that historically we sell out every micro pitch, we sell out. And we want to make sure that there's a little bit of skin in the game up front so that everybody shows up to pitch. That really is what it comes down to, because what we're trying to avoid is 15 people wanting to pitch. We only take 10 people, and then 5 people don't show up when 5 people were waiting and they weren't able to pitch. So you purchase your pitch ticket, then you attend Pitch Perfect. I'll get into what Pitch Perfect is here in a moment, but you attend Pitch Perfect.
Yeah.
You pitch your business at the micro pitch competition, and then you'll pitch at the final event. And we're going to dive into this, but that is how everything looks. Apply, you're approved, get your pitch ticket, go to Pitch Perfect so you can learn how to pitch. You participate in the micro pitch. You do really, really well because you've attended Pitch Perfect. You go to the final Pitch Perfect event, or the final pitch event, the championship pitch event, and then you're on your way. So what is Pitch Perfect? Pitch Perfect, that is just, it's designed to teach you how to pitch. So just like you see on Shark Tank or some of the other movies or whatever, you have those investor pitches. We're going to teach you everything that you need to know about doing that. It's a really, really low threat environment. I do the class along with Gary Plagg. Gary and I have been doing this for a long time. We now go all over the region, and I teach this class amongst many, many different groups, ranging from Hampton University, B-Force, Accelerator with Black Brand, Retail Alliance, Star Peninsula, obviously, 757 Collab. I teach this all over. It's a very, very low threat environment. And what it does is it allows you to practice and receive feedback. If you are willing, if you are brave enough to want to, after we go through the elements of the pitch, then we give people the opportunity to go ahead and give it a try. And then we'll give you some feedback. I really, really encourage it. One, because it will help you get refunded of your pitch ticket. We'll touch on that here in a second. But historically speaking, 7 out of 10 finalists attended Pitch Perfect. So you just have a leg up on everyone because we teach you everything that you need to know. We give you feedback. We answer questions. Everybody participates. So 7 out of 10 finalists historically have attended Pitch Perfect, and then 2 out of the 3 winners each year have attended Pitch Perfect as well. So really, really encourage you to do that. The next Pitch Perfect that we have is August 28th, and that is from 6 to 8, and that is all on Zoom. Everything we do at with Star Peninsula is all on Zoom. It's just much easier, takes bridges and tunnels out of the equation. 64, whatever is happening, if you're driving in from Williamsburg, we do everything on Zoom. So August 28th, you can register for that going to starpeninsula.com, and we'll add you, everyone that is attending this, we'll add you to our email list, and we'll make sure that you are reminded of the different things that are happening. So you've gone this far, you've applied, you've been approved, you attend the micro pitch, and now you're maybe asking yourself, what in the world am I getting myself into? This is what it's all about. Like I said, you've applied to pitch. We're good to go there. The cost for that pitch ticket, it's $50. It is a deposit to do that. You're just reserving your space to participate. We limit each of these micro pitches to 10 pitchers, and that comes on a first come, first serve basis. We will continue to approve people to pitch until all 10 pitch slots are filled. Once we hit those 10 pitch slots, we'll send in a mass email out to everybody that says, hey, we are sold out. The first 2 people to respond to this that want to be an alternate, we'll go ahead and we'll bring you on as an alternate pitcher. That way, if somebody does no show, you'll just slide right into that spot and then give you the opportunity to pitch. Again, this is all about we're working with serious entrepreneurs that want to start a business, and we want to give everyone that we possibly can the opportunity to pitch. It's that important. When you're pitching, if you have slides, if you have props, if you have demos, everything is allowed. That time is yours to participate. You use it as you see fit. There's going to be 3 judges that we invite to each of the micro pitch competitions. Each pitch 3 minutes long. And then after your pitch, there's going to be a 2-minute question and answer period. And so this is, we're teaching you 3 minutes is a very, very common length for the amount of time on any given pitch. 2-minute question and answer period. And it teaches you to be very succinct with your answers. So the way that works, each judge, the 3 judges will ask their question back to back to back. You don't start to answer any of those questions until all 3 judges have asked. So you have to write down what those questions are, and then you just answer that. You have 2 minutes to address all 3 of those questions. So again, this is just to help teach you and guide you and get you prepared for what is next. The event is very, very fast paced to keep everyone's attention and excitement up. The top 3 people from that night will advance to the championship or the final pitch event, which will be held on November 6th, also from 6 to 8 o'clock. And here's the great thing. If you attend Pitch Perfect and you attend the micro pitch event, so you show up for those 2 things, we will refund you that $50 back. So what does that mean? This is free for you to pitch. When is the next micro pitch? It's going to be September 11th from 6 to 8. So if you're following along with me, the first one we had was March 20th and May 15th. So of the 12 people that are going to advance on to the championship pitch, 6 of those names have already been determined through the micro pitch events on March 20th and May 15th. And so we are already accepting people to apply for September 11th, and pitch tickets are already being accounted for. So I encourage you all, act fast, get those applications in, secure that spot, because once all 10 positions are gone, then they're gone. And then you'll have to wait till October 9th. Historically speaking, don't be the people that, the person that waits until the last minute. I think that you have more of an advantage if you participate early. Couple different reasons. 1, a lot of people procrastinate. 2, if you say you participate September 11th and you just have an off night, your internet connection was bad, your slides didn't display properly, you just didn't perform your best. If you that you have the opportunity to participate in October 9th. So thinking about this, people that had a bad night on the March 20th, or if they had a bad night on May 15th or on September 11th, those people, they may come back and try to pitch again on October 9th. So the competition typically gets a little tougher with each of these dates, but the playing field is level. So just based on what we talked about on who's available to pitch. I had mentioned that we have 3 judges. So we spend a lot of time about those judges. What are the qualities and characteristics we look for? They have to have extensive experience in the angel and venture capital space. So we want to make sure that they understand the industry. They know what they're looking for. We're not just grabbing random people off the street. They understand it, because they're either investors in their real world life, or they are previous founders and have had an early stage startup or small business in the past. The judges, they get it. They get that entrepreneurial aspect. They want you to succeed, and they are going to ask you and offer their assistance to you. I love that about the community. And That it just because this is just three people's opinion at this particular night. This is not the end all be all. This is not saying that if you don't advance that you should not try to ever with the next opportunity. These are just three people and they do want you to succeed. I urge you to make contact with them afterwards so that they can provide you with some insight or some details on how you can improve. May or may not be the same judges for each event. So sometimes we have judges that just love the space so much that they're like, I want to be a judge at every micro pitch event. Um, Sometimes calendars don't line up and they're only a judge for one event. It just all depends. We have a whole pool of judges that we pull from. And so sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're not. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not so good. In terms of how can it be good? Say you pitched one time, you didn't get through, you pitched a second time, you have that same judge the next time, and they see the progress and improvement that you made. That may serve you very well. On the flip side, that same situation holds true, and then you just give the exact same pitch that you did before with no improvement. You know, they may remember that, and it's not going to serve you well. So judges may vary. Once all the judges are locked in and we know who they are, then they will be listed on the website. They will be part of the marketing collateral that goes out and pushed across our social media as well. So that is the judges. The roadmap in terms of what this looks like. Again, just want to make sure that you all understand. Step one, you go to pitch perfect, really, really important. Step two, the micro pitch event. And then step three, the championship pitch event. Those are the things that that's what you should be laser focused on right now. Afterwards, you can worry about accelerators or other opportunities, taking meetings or whatever the case is, but this is what we want you to focus on. So some of you are probably wondering, what is this championship pitch? What does that mean? I participate in the micro pitch, I advance and I go forward. So November 6th, and that will represent the top three previous micro pitch winners. So 3 from the previous 4, that equals 12. What that represents on November 6th is the top 12 pitchers of Hampton Roads for that particular year. And you're all competing for the title, quote unquote. There is no cost to participate in this. You've already shown that you're interested. You pitched at the micro pitch, you won. However, you have to be present to win anything. We're not going to go back and look at your micro pitch event to see if that was good enough. You have to participate on November 6th to be considered for any of the winnings. Just like the micro pitch, slides, prompts, demos, all that is yours. All that is allowed. That 3 minutes, that's for you to use however you want to use it. This time, instead of three judges, we moved to 5 judges. It's a 3-minute pitch, just like the micro pitch before. I will say the rubric in which you're going to be evaluated on is different than the micro pitch. We're going to want to see a little bit more progress from you. And by progress, I mean like thinking about how are you going to make money? Have you talked to any potential customers? What was the feedback that you received? So 3-minute pitch, 2-minute question answer period, just like the micro pitch before. So nothing new there, same structure. The 5 judges will ask their questions. You have 2 minutes to answer those. The top 3 pitchers of the championship event will each receive $500. And based on how the budget works out, it looks like places 4 through 12 will each receive $500. So that's what I mean. You have to be present to win. Just because you made it in advance, if you don't show up, then you're not eligible to receive any prize money at all. In terms of anything that you do receive from a monetary standpoint, That is yours. We do not take any equity. That is all. That's just to help you advance your business further. We understand you're going to need a whole lot more than $5,000 to be successful with your business. But you do have that initial validation. Final pitch date, as I said before, November 6th, 6 to 8 p.m., held on Zoom like we do all of these events. So now you've gone on, you are a winner. And what does the roadmap look like? So you participated to start Peninsula. Then you can look at different accelerator programs. So again, if you're looking to raise money from investors, or if you want to learn more about how to take your business further, accelerator is the next likely step. So there's 757 Accelerate, there's B-Force Accelerator, there's Lighthouse Labs that's in Richmond, there's different virtual programs, there's industry-specific accelerators, but you've got to the point where you can take that next step further. And then typically after you go through an accelerator that is geared to make you more investable as a company, then the next likely step would be going to finding some seed funding through an angel investor or something of that nature. So you have 757 Angels, you have VIPC just announced what their new $100 million fund. So there's different ways that you can go about getting funding for your business. And the great thing about this is that, again, you're going to have to pitch your business as long as you continue to be in existence. So this is teaching you those foundational skills that you're going to need over and over and over again. So this is just not event specific in terms of what it is that you're looking for. This is going to teach you the ropes for as long as you continue to pursue this journey. So frequently asked questions that we received. Does my business need to be a tech business? It does not. We want it to be a scalable business. Again, how do we define scalable? Are you able to generate large amounts of revenue with a limited number of employees, or are you able to, is this going to be a business that's going to require many employees to be successful? So we want that to be a high output business, scalable in terms of the type. Why do I need to pay for a pitch ticket? Hopefully I explained that in great enough detail. But again, we are not looking to make money. We just want to make sure that the people that sign up to pitch show up to pitch, go to Pitch Perfect, attend the micro pitch. We give you the money back. We'll just refund that credit card. We do everything on Eventbrite. So that very next day we go in, we issue those refunds, and then you're good to go. How much does it cost for a general admission to watch? Like I said, everything is on Zoom. We will have a Zoom link so that your coworkers, co-founders, friends, family, they can support you and they can watch you participate. That is all free. Will I need to purchase a pitch ticket if I want to try a second micro pitch event? So again, you have a bad day. You don't do well during that micro pitch that you participate in. Yes, we need to track those 10 pitchers. So you will, just to secure that spot, you will need to, quote unquote, purchase that pitch ticket for that next micro pitch event. How is the pitching order determined? So how do we determine the 10 people that are going to participate? It is reverse order in which the pitch tickets are secured. So if you're the first person to secure your pitch ticket, you will pitch last. If you are pitch ticket number 10, then you are going to pitch first. So we want to reward the folks that purchased their ticket early to avoid that last minute scramble. It's a lot of heavy lifting on our end to get everything prepped and ready to go. We have score sheets that we have to work up. We do virtual backgrounds. There's just a lot of preparation and planning that we need to do. So we want to try to lock in those 10 companies as quickly as we can. And like I said, it's a fast-paced event on that micro pitch event. So there might be a little advantage if you go later in the evening. And in order to go later in the evening, you have to get your pitch ticket early, just because it's a fast-paced night and you want to make sure that you're remembered from the judges. So reverse order. Who is in attendance? By in attendance, watching from the general admission standpoint. So we have potential customers that are going to watch. We have economic development folks that are going to watch. We have investors that like to watch. We have supporters of small business. We have media. We have all kinds of people that watch this. And we get contacted all the time by people that were in attendance. Hey, can you connect me with this business? Can you connect me with this founder? So there's a lot more to this than just the 3 or the 5 judges that you are going to be presenting to. There is also that secondary audience that will be watching. We record the events that will be posted on our YouTube channel. So then there's that secondary aspect as well, that investors are always looking for the next greatest idea, the next greatest team, that they want to monitor, at least put on their radar and potentially invest in. So think about that secondary audience. With that we always get the question, is someone going to steal my idea? No. This is a 3-minute pitch. You're not going to be giving away any secret sauce. You're not going to be giving away any algorithms. Your 3-minute pitch, this is very, very high level in nature. It is your idea. You're not going to have time to get into those details. And you are the one, as the founder of this company, that has the passion to execute this business idea. No one has that passion to do it, and their business is not going to be successful. So no one is going to steal your idea. If anything at all, it should be a little push to you that I have to take what I'm doing and execute quickly and efficiently so that I can get out there quicker than anyone else. But it's not going to happen. Real quick, to touch on another thing, we don't do non-disclosure agreements. NDAs are not a thing that we do. Again, because it's just part of this community. That's just a standard. It's not going to happen. It's a deal breaker from the very beginning. If you happen to get to a point where non-disclosures happen, that's going to be much, much further on down the line. What do I get if I win? So I mentioned from a monetary standpoint, the top 3 people from the championship pitch event, they get $5,000 each. Places 4 through 12, they get $500 each. But we're also, local organizations also donate different services. It could be free co-working from places like Gather, other co-working spaces, different accelerators, incubators may donate an opportunity to join the incubator reactor, for example, in the city of Hampton, or the Launchpad in Williamsburg. So we're always looking for organizations to want to donate. We've had people donate logos, mentoring time, chamber memberships. It varies from year to year, but we're always looking to add, and we will continue to show what those prizes are as they come in. I was approved to pitch. Does that guarantee my position to pitch? It does not. So again, we will continue to approve pitchers until all 10 pitch tickets are secured. So much like an airline or a hotel, they're going to overbook the flight. They're going to oversell hotel rooms, knowing that people aren't going to show up. And this happens every micro pitch event. I was approved, but now it's sold out. And it's like, I'm really, really sorry. We told you that this is going to sell out. Please don't hesitate to get that pitch ticket, because when they're gone, they're gone. And with only 2 events left, the time is running out, and then you'll have to wait until March when we do it again next year. that rounds out what I was going to talk about. We do dive into other things a little bit deeper at the Pitch Perfect event. So, for example, what are you going to be judged on? That is, we go over the judge's rubric at Pitch Perfect. But just to give you some insight, you're judged on what's the problem, what is the solution, who is your market, and then the performance of your pitch. So there's 4 aspects of what you're going to. That's what the judge's score sheet says. They evaluate everyone on a scale of 1 to 10, and then that helps the discussions when the judges deliberate on who that top 3 is going to be. Those are all the kind of details that we talk about during Pitch Perfect. But that rounds out the major things that I wanted to talk about. I'm happy to open this up for any questions that you may have. And then I will leave that as I'm waiting for some questions to come in. There is how you can connect with us. That is my email address and the email address for the whole team at Star Peninsula. But connect with us and apply to pitch. Encourage you to do it.